There was a man, an MOD official, and I knew what he liked. One of the things he liked was showing off. He told me this email was going to save the world. He didn't know it, but I photographed it. He was a bit tied up at the time. Couldn't figure it out. What can you do, Mr. Holmes? Go on. Impress a girl.
Show you your magic. I really love this. Oh, oh no. Don't disturb him!
There's a margin of error, but I'm pretty sure this is 7:47, leaving Heathrow tomorrow at 6:30 in the evening for Baltimore. Apparently it's going to save the world. Not sure how that could be true, but give me a moment. I've only been in the case for 8 seconds.
Woohoo! My brain stopped.
Oh, come on, it's not code. These are seat allocations on a passenger jet. Look, there's no letter I because it can be mistaken for a 1. No letters past K. Within the plane is the limit. The numbers always appear randomly, not in sequence. But the letters have little runs of sequence all over the place. Families and couples sitting together. Only a jumbo's wide enough to need a letter K. All rows past 55, which is why there's always an upstairs. There's a row 13, which eliminates the more superstitious airlines. Then there's a style of the flight number 007 that eliminates a few more. And assuming the British point of origin, which would be logical considering the original source of the information, and assuming from the increased pressure on you lately that the crisis is imminent, the only flight that matches all the criteria and departs within the week is the 6:30 to Baltimore tomorrow evening from Heathrow Airport.
You cut all that?
I don't feel obliged to tell me that was remarkable or amazing. Charles expressed that thought in every possible variant available to the English language.
I would have you right here on this desk until you begged for mercy twice.
That's a
Yeah,
promise.
you're right. Flight 007.
What did you say?
You're right.
No, after that. What did you say after that?
007. Flight 007.
007.
James Bond. Yeah. She still works for the guy, like, she's really hard to guess, you know? She is hard to read. What is she after? What's going on? What, did I miss something? What's going on?
Have you ever had anyone?
Sorry.
And when I say had, I'm being indelicate.
I don't understand.
I'll be delicate then. Let's have dinner.
Why?
You might be hungry.
I'm not.
Good.
Why would I want to have dinner if I wasn't hungry?
Mr. Holmes, if it was the end of the world, if this was the very last night, would you have dinner with me?
Sherlock?
They never allow him to answer.
Sherlock, this man was at the door. Is the bell still not working?
She's so dangerous. I love her, but she's dangerous.
British and American governments
she is.
about it, but rather than expose the source.
The Coventry conundrum. What do you think of my solution? The flight of the dead.
Plane blows up mid-air. Mission accomplished for the terrorists. Hundreds of casualties, but nobody dies.
Neat, don't you think? You've been stumbling around the fringes of this one for ages. Or were you too bored to notice the pattern?
They wouldn't let us see Granddad when he was dead.
She's not my real aunt. I know human Ash.
We ran a similar project with the Germans a while back, though I believe one of our passengers didn't make the flight.
Oh my god.
That's the deceased for you. The terrorist cells have been informed that we know about the bomb. We can't fool them now. We've lost everything. One fragment of one email, and months and years of planning. Finished.
Because of what?
MOD, man.
That's all it takes. One lonely, naive man desperate to show off, and a woman clever enough to make him feel special.
Oh. Oh. I hate that for once his emotions are what, you know, took him down.
We have people who can get into this.
Sherlock, dear, tell him what you found when you x-rayed my camera phone.
There are 4 additional units wired inside the casing. I suspect containing acid or a small amount of explosive. Any attempt to open the casing will burn the hard drive.
Explosive.
You have a passcode to open this. I deeply regret to say we have people who can extract it from you.
Sherlock?
There will be 2 passcodes, one to open the phone, one to burn the drive. Even under duress, you can't know which one she's given you, and there would be no point in a second attempt.
He's good, isn't he? I should have him on a leash. In fact, I might. A list of my requests and some ideas about my protection once they're granted.
You've been very thorough. I wish our lot were half as good as you.
I can't take all the credit. Had a bit of help. Jim Moriarty sends his love.
Yes, he's been in touch. Seems desperate for my attention, which I'm sure can be arranged.
I had all this stuff, never knew what to do with it. Thank God for the consultant criminal. Gave me a lot of advice about how to play the Holmes boys.
Nicely played.
No. Very, very close, but no. You got carried away. The game was too elaborate. You're enjoying yourself too much.
No such thing as too much.
I'm enjoying the thrill of the chase is fine. Craving the distraction of the game, I sympathize entirely with sentiment. Sentiment is a chemical defect found in the losing side.
Sentiment? You don't actually think I was interested in you?
I think she was.
Why? Because you're the great Sherlock Holmes, the clever detective in the funny hat?
No. Because I took your pulse. Elevated. Your pupils dilated.
Yeah. Oh my god.
When we first met, you told me the disguise is always a self-portrait. How true of you. The combination to your safe, your measurements. But this is far more intimate. This is your heart. And you should never let it rule your head. You could have chosen any random number and walked out of here today with everything you've worked for. But you just couldn't resist it, could you? I've always assumed that love is a dangerous disadvantage. Thank you for the final proof.
Everything I said, it's not real. I was just playing the game.
I know. And this is just losing.
I knew it! Unlock!
They are, brother.
Ah!
Speak up for any inconvenience I may have caused you tonight.
I'm certain they will.
It won't even last 6 months.
Sorry about dinner.
Oh, please. Mike, that is not the last story that we know. Please. Oh my god. Does that have a year? No.
He'll be okay with this witness protection, never seeing her again. He'll be fine.
I agree. That's why I decided to tell him that.
Instead of what?
She's dead. She was captured by a terrorist cell in Karachi 2 months ago and beheaded.
It's definitely her. She's done this before.
I was thorough this time.
Yeah.
It would take Sherlock Holmes to fool me. And I don't think he was on hand. Do you?
He's not gonna react to all of this well. She's dead for real?
Clearly you've got news. Is she back in London?
No. She's,
He's gonna tell?
she's in America.
America?
Mm-hmm. Got herself on a witness protection scheme.
He can probably tell he's
Apparently.
lying.
Don't know how she swung it, but, well, you know.
I know what.
Well, you won't be able to see her again.
I would want to see her again.
Didn't say you did.
I'm afraid of what's gonna happen next to him.
Listen,
Oh,
actually...
well, I will have the camera phone there.
the last thing she did. He was there.
Well, I say run.
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! That's genius!
The woman. The woman.
He never changes his cell phone. Oh, that was cool. Holy shit! Okay, you know, I freak out. Wait a sec. I know every time we finish an episode of this show, I freak out and I go into like, oh my gosh, this was amazing. Well, this was fucking good.
Every time our mind is just blown.
Yeah, no, mind blown, but I gotta say, this entire episode, what was said, what was not said, the editing was next level. And I always say that when they do stuff like, you know, showing us the details, writing the clues, and
It's
everything is
so
cool,
but cool and well shown, but this time it was just so on point. Okay? Season 2 is starting big. Seriously.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I remember when we watched Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law and Rachel McAdams. I love her character because the chemistry and the intimacy between her and Sherlock Holmes was so
She was never
well done.
She was never quite this level though in the movies. So
Everything
this
is just next level in the series.
holy shit. I liked her right away, like just seeing that at first she acted like she was taken back by what Sherlock was doing. Like she was like, I don't know what's going on. But then you figure out that she knew what happened. She pieced together the death.
She was playing the ignorant.
Yeah, and that's one thing. You realize that she always says, like, how do you know? I can speak. How do you know that? How do you know what happened? Like, how do you know? How did you manage to do something? She always answers like, I know a guy. I know what he likes. She knows people. She can read people, and it's such an intense weapon because she can manipulate everyone around her. Anyone who has anything, who can do anything, she picks someone that can help her in her case. She manipulates that person because she knows what that person likes. That's her job. That's what she does.
Oh my gosh, the scene where she just entered the room all full naked in her
That was
glory.
cool.
She like got nothing to analyze her and just determine what type of person she is.
And you know, when I first saw her do that, I was like, she's actually, with anyone else, she would be in control because she would make them embarrassed or she would make them, concentrate on her body instead of what she's saying or what she's, actually doing. Mm-hmm. So in a normal situation with normal people, she would be in control. She would be so in control. With Sherlock, there's something else. It's not necessarily about the fact that he's distracted, although we did see that he's not watching her. He never looked at her body. But it's more than that. He cannot read her. And that was genius. And, we said several times last season that Moriarty really knows Sherlock. He knows how he works. And that's how he manipulated him a couple times last season. Like, he knows that if Sherlock cannot solve a case, he's going to go intense. He's going to focus on it so much, and that can be his end game. And he also figured out that if you threaten Watson, you can get to him. And she had that too. Now, I don't know if it's because Moriarty told her or if she kind of pieced it together by watching him do his stuff. But these two characters, Moriarty and Irene, they are dangerous for Sherlock because they know how he works. They know his weaknesses.
I just hope that Moriarty's not gonna end up killing her by the end of the series.
Like in the movie?
Please. I just love her character so much. From just one episode. Seriously.
I love that at the end, like, I thought she would die for real at the end, you know? I was surprised, because like I said, when we first thought she died, I was expecting her to go a long time. Like, she's such an important character. And she's so intelligent, she's so great. So the second time it happened, I was like, are they really gonna pretend that she dies twice in the same episode? That's a bit much. We should have picked up on Mycroft saying, I made sure, only Sherlock could fool me. And I'm like, now we know Sherlock did fool him. So now where is she? That's the thing. Now she's probably somewhere hiding and Sherlock helped her. But then Moriarty also is really intelligent. He's actually more intelligent than Sherlock.
But the thing with her character is like, she really does end up having feeling for Sherlock.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
true.
not right now, because right now she's just like, she has a crush on him. She's interested by him. Maybe not in love yet, but I think that she's probably gonna end up loving him.
They texted for a while, so the
He never answered just once.
He answered in his own way. His
By
silence,
not answering.
His silence was telling a lot.
Yeah, but yeah, she still continues to work for Moriarty.
Yeah.
So that's gonna end up playing a lot in the series, I guess.
She worked for him, but in the end, she ended up like I said, I thought at first, I mean, it's never quite that simple. But at first, I thought it was about just, well, I mean, it ended up being that, you know, you seduce Sherlock and you make sure he does something for you. Or I thought at first that it was going to break him. Yeah, but they did seduce him. That was the plan, seduce him, make sure he helps, and then he cracked the code. She gave the information to Moriarty. So she did her job, you know? The thing is, and I did say that in the episode too, she ended up having feelings for the guy. He also ended up having feelings for her. The sad song at first, and then he switched it to "It's only goodbye" and see you later," something like that. Like, you could read into his character. He never says it, and he acts like he doesn't care. But anyone who knows Sherlock can read in between the lines here. I'm surprised actually that Watson doesn't see it. Like, just.
We noticed that Sherlock was really interesting by Moriarty's character, and now we got Iran's character too.
Irene.
Irene.
There's a huge difference. And like I said, Moriarty being able to keep up with Sherlock and play him, that frustrates him. Because he wants to crack the codes he leaves him. He wants to play that game and he wants to win. And when he was facing him at the pool, he was at a standstill. He was not going to get out of that one. It was over. And then the only thing that stopped it from happening was the call. So he got really lucky. And I think it frustrates him deep down because he lost control.
But the thing with Irene is like, she's not as smart as him. But
not quite.
She's smart. But she's playing on a different kind of level.
She can keep up. That's cool. And you know, even Watson can keep up to a certain degree. Like, he knows some stuff. And,
she's next level.
Oh yeah, she's next level for sure. I'm just saying that Sherlock enjoys Watson's company because, first of all, he's not that stupid. Like, he can piece stuff together on his own, and he's not that, you know, he learns from being with Sherlock, so that's great. He's also a good friend. I think he represents the heart in Sherlock, you know? When Sherlock cannot express what he's feeling, I think Watson can read him and express it for him.
I felt so sorry for the brothers in that episode when they were in the morgue.
But like, let's just keep with these two characters first. Okay. And that's it. So yeah, he connects a lot with Watson, and I feel like Irene is the love interest version of what he has with Watson. Watson is a partner. You can call it love. I call it love. I honestly call it love, but it's a partner. It's even more than just love. Irene, she's almost like, she's like a nemesis, sort of. The woman nemesis of Sherlock, because, Moriarty is his enemy. But in her case, she can keep up, she can play him, she can read him, and she can make him feel stuff he hasn't felt before.
She plays with him, not on him.
She doesn't play him, she plays with him. That's a good way of putting it. So yeah, I think he felt something for her, and he was interested in what she could give him. So no surprises there that he showed up at the end to save her. That was so fucking cool. Now, yeah, the brothers.
I felt so sorry for them when they were in the morgue and said, is there something wrong with us? Because when you have such a... The expression is a beautiful mind. When you're such a genius, that feelings will feel foreign because you cannot analyze it and comprehend.
You don't understand the
You don't understand the emotion that you're feeling because it's not just rational, technically.
Yeah, like Sherlock called it, it's a chemical reaction. Love is a chemical reaction. Care, feelings. Yeah. And you can understand that, but when that happens, it can fool the brightest mind there is. Sherlock had feelings for her, he got played. She had feelings for Sherlock, it ended up being her downfall. Yeah. So, but yeah, I also felt sad for the brothers, what they said in that moment. And like we said, it's not because they don't show it the same way that they don't care. Like Mycroft, he's gonna care, like he's gonna send for Watson. He's gonna keep an eye on his brother. He's gonna offer him a cigarette.
He sure does keep an eye on his brother.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's his way of caring.
But like offering him a cigarette to see if he would take it and how he would react, read his character, and then call Watson and be like, we gotta look out for substances because we don't know how he's gonna react to this. That's him caring. He wouldn't do that for a stranger unless it was like to solve a case or just, plan a meeting or I don't know. And Sherlock is exactly the same. He panics when someone threatens Watson. He panics.
Oh my gosh, the way we guys when they heard what's her name?
And when they heard I forgot. She's everywhere, but we always forget her name.
I got heartthrob in my head, but
it's no.
That's a little sweetheart.
Yeah, I forgot her name, but the two times, like when his brother insulted her, and he's like, "Hey, no, you don't insult her."
An old lady.
No, it's not about that. It's about
I know, but
I think
still don't insult an old lady. Point.
I think we discussed this earlier in season 1, but I feel like Sherlock understands how he is. To protect himself, to protect his feelings, he's gonna say, I don't need friends, I don't care about people, stay away from me. But he ends up being alone all the time, so when someone sticks around,
and slowly but surely breaks his own shell.
Yeah, well, Watson stayed around, and now look at them, they're laughing together, and they enjoy each other's company.
Different from season 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the landlady, whose name I forgot, which is terrible because she's in every episode, you see everything she's been through with this guy. He shoots at the walls, makes a lot of noise.
She found Tums in the fridge.
Yeah, and that's because she didn't find the head that was there last episode.
I think she did.
Probably. So she goes through a lot with Sherlock, but then he trusts her. She kept him in the building, and she still takes care of him, despite everything else. So I feel like deep down, he doesn't say it, but he so cares. And when he figured out that someone had took her upstairs and was threatening her, the face he made, it switched. It was intense. You saw he was so angry.
Oh, he was.
Oh yeah,
he was.
Oh, I love this. I love this show.
Love the little notice. Crime in progress, do not disturb.
Yeah, and he threw him out of the window probably several times.
Oh yeah, he did.
Oh god. Okay, so I'm really happy that they introduced Irene. I'm glad she's still alive. I hope we see her again in the future. Right now, Sherlock knows. That's the thing. I think she faked her death. She said someone was after her. She faked her death and then ended up not having to fake her death anymore because it didn't matter. Now she's faking her death once again, but I'm afraid that if Moriarty figures it out, because he knows Sherlock so much, and if he does like Sherlock did, emotions are a weakness, like he said to Irene. So if Moriarty figures out that she's alive and Sherlock cares for her, he can use her as Sherlock's weakness. Like he did with Watson once. So Watson and Irene are at risk of being used against Sherlock. So there's that. But yeah, that was such a great episode. Yeah. Oh my god. I know some of you guys, when we were not, posting anything, you were mentioning that you were really excited about this episode coming up. I understand why now. I think it might be one of my
Even if it wasn't
favorites.
for the story, just the editing.
Oh my
What
God.
they did.
And just the use of music to tell what's not being said right now, just to tell us what's going on in Sherlock's head, because he doesn't say it, so we need to read between the lines. The editing does that, and you know, at the end when you looked at the last text, goodbye, they framed it so well, right in the middle, you know, surrounded by the glass. It's like the emphasis was on the goodbye. You can understand the importance of the goodbye, and then you figure out that it's because the goodbye meant something more than just I'm not gonna come back, you know, this is farewell. It meant that something happened, and then you see what happened. That was so cool. The editing in this show, the visuals.
Sorry guys, we're just all thinking about it, but all the editing, all the transitions.
Oh god, yeah. Like this, when he starts playing a song and then it's switched into Christmas music, and then we know it's Christmas. And the acting too, like when he did his monologue, when he cracked the code, I got none of that.
Me neither.
But I'm like, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
Shout out to you guys.
Learning all this and being able to say it all without taking a breath.
Like she said, I'm gonna do you on the table and gonna make you say please twice.
Oh yeah, and he sort of did. He did once and she did once too.
That's right.
They know each other, they learn, and they adapt.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna stop talking now because there's so much to talk about in this episode, but we're gonna stop here. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. We're glad to be back. We missed you guys so freaking much, and we're gonna do our best to keep posting and be on time. And if, like I said, if I decide, because I'm still wondering if I'm gonna talk about this, but if I decide to tell you everything about what happened this month, I'm gonna do a video because this is personal and it's complicated. So I'll give you more about that later. And until then, we'll see you in another reaction.
Yeah, so see you then guys.
Bye, and sorry again for the lack of lights.